question number 1. What do you think are your top 2 attributes that will enable you to be a successful council member? We'll go back through the panel, same way, in the same order. Starting out with Mr. Jim Elliott.
Thank you. Very simply, the 2 top attributes, without question, in my mind, are experience and communication skills. Experience, I have spent my career in the water treatment industry, not just on the business administration side of managing and preparing budgets, but also on the management side. I managed sales groups, engineering groups, service groups, and I have dealt with the full gamut of all the issues that come with that, from personnel issues to scheduling to you name it. I think I'm well qualified in that, and I enjoy it. It's a strong background that I have. But I think even more important is communication. I give a lot of presentations to municipalities and engineering groups about the technology that I represent. But to me, the biggest success I've had in communication is listening skills. I think it's important to hear what people are saying, and I think I've done really well at that, a career of actually listening. I've been in the sales side of my career more than anything, and to be successful in technical sales, which I call consultative sales, really have to listen well and get to the heart of what it is that the client wants. Sometimes my company didn't have it, and I would tell a client that. I'm not afraid to say that we don't have the answer. But if I do, I think I can get down to the bottom of it quickly. One of the things I don't like about this forum, and I wish we could change it, and we can't because it's just the nature of it, I wish you could ask me questions. I love give and take, and I would like to make myself available after this meeting to answer questions on an individual basis. I think it's very important to make myself available to the citizens as a council member to hear the people.
Thank you. Mr. Dennis.
I believe that my best 2 attributes I have to offer for the Lakeside City Council are my high level of involvement and participation in city council meetings, workshop, budget meetings, and special forums. I also feel that being a younger homeowner, I can offer a level of dedication to our current and future town issues that would benefit the town as a whole for many years to come.
Councilmember Place 2, Mr. Martin.
I think my top 2 attributes are budgeting and negotiation. And I say that because I was able to retire from Lockheed after 34 years of service at the early age of 59. So my own personal experience on handling budgets allowed me to do that. I think that my personal experience there with budgets and planning has been and can continue to be helpful in deciding how our town's money is spent. For the last 6 years I was at Lockheed, I spent as a negotiator to help settle union grievances. And I believe my skills as a negotiator have been helpful at budget time especially, and I believe they can continue to be.
Thank you. Mr. Hamilton.
I believe my number 1 attribute is that I'm one of you and have been for 20 years. My number 1 attribute involves how long I lived here, how many one-on-one visits I had with a man no longer with us named John Garrison, who I felt like was a great councilman. I believe Mr. Moore would probably attest to that. Under his guidance and Mr. Moore's guidance and so on, we accumulated a lot of money. In the last 2 years, we spent it. And my second attribute is I've come up as a budget planner for every business that I've been involved in for several years. But more than anything else, my second best attribute is I love Lakeside. And I don't want to do anything to harm you guys. And I don't want anybody doing anything to harm you either. So from that standpoint, those are my attributes. I care about the people. And I have the talent to take care of your needs as well as my own.
Councilmember Place 3, Ms. Wood.
I really had a hard time answering this question because I don't do well promoting myself. In the business I'm in, I'm advertising, or was advertising director for the Azle News Springtime Epigraph. for 12 years, and in January I became publisher of 2 newspapers in this community. And people tell me all the time that I'm just the most incredible salesperson there ever was. And I've been very successful at sales. But what I think my attributes are is I'm very much a people person. I'm a uniter. I'm one who likes to sit down and hear the controversial issues between 2 groups of people and find the commonality between those 2 groups of people. And in this case, with it being the town of Lakeside, there's always issues that come before us that there's 2 sides of the fence. And it's a matter of listening to both sides, the people in the community, and then taking the knowledge and the understanding of what the city's abilities are, whether it be financial or it be personnel, and then casting a vote and voting to do the very best for this community. The second attribute that's my first attribute. My first one is I really enjoy municipal government. When I ran for city council, I had dealt a little bit with municipal government in my job working for the newspaper, dealing with being on different chambers and dealing with the city of Springtown, the city of Azle. But when I came and got on this council, I've really enjoyed the process of municipal government. I find myself looking forward to coming to the meetings and going through the municipal process. And, okay, thank you. That's okay.
Thank you. Mr. Thomas.
Thank you, Mayor. Attribute number 1 is during the 1980s, I served as the mayor pro tem for many of that decade. Our town was divided to the extent that the town secretary had to assume management responsibilities. By the end of that decade, 43.6% of today's homeowners had settled here, and major capital investments in our water system ended water rationing and allowed us to pay off our water bond. My second attribute will be I will always put Lakeside ahead of any personal interest, and I love the board.